Mi plan es para no cambiar todo, un parte para menos aire. This time of year it is cold for them, so I'm going to try not to remove all of the inner cover, just slide it over a little bit to see if I can show him some bees. I just wanted him to have a chance to see what inside looks like. Okay, you can see in there, these are the frames.
Where is la reina?
Reina en medio parte. No es bueno en este clima mirar reina.
Okay.
Mucho aire es no bueno para reina. So I brought a full Amish-made beehive with me. In my last trip, I brought supplies. So for example, in here I have a smoker. In this storage box here, I have one full bee suit, 2 vests. I have hive tools, just everything they would need to work with bees. And then this trip, I bought a hive from one of my friends, Albert Zook, an Amish beekeeper in Etheridge, Tennessee. And so we're getting this delivered. So I'm preparing all of this to pack. The medium boxes are already together with frames, and the frames actually, already have wax on them. And so I will be working on storage boxes for that. And then the deep box needs to be put together with the frames for it. I'll come back in a few months and finish setting everything up and buying them some bees, but we've made some progress. Okay, my friend Francisco is trying to clear enough space so we can actually see where the bees are. Video aqui.
Sí. Is your home is here?
See? That's good. Okay, so you can actually see some comb there. And you can see, I just saw they were bringing in pollen. This is Francisco Gonzalez. He's clearing out. He had discovered these. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get them out of that tree and into a hive box. When we got some light and it's cleared out. You can see the frames, though the ones on this end look pretty dry. Alright, so we're going to start working on it. One of our goals in this, we're at the Bible School of the Americas in Panama, and in the past they get a lot of their fruit from right here on campus. They've also raised chickens and gotten their own eggs and so forth from here. So one of the reasons they were interested in bees is a potential side job, as they work in churches all over Latin America. A lot of times just making ends meet can be a challenge, so any side income they can have is a blessing. So if they can learn how to do it, they can then go back home and provide some honey for their family. They could also sell it at the market and make a little money for their family. But then another benefit is the students and faculty on campus, they and their families can eat the honey. So it's for sustenance for people on campus, but the goal is for them to learn how to do it. So it's very important that they're involved in all stages of this process. We're in Panama, and we are putting together a deep. This. Necesito ustedes en este. Hola. Están estudiantes en Escuela Bíblica de las Américas in Panama. We have a plan to move some bees from a tree into this box. So I brought this box over, but I got it from my friend Albert Zook, Amish beekeeper in Etheridge, Tennessee. And he sent it with me. It hadn't been put together yet, so it would fit in my luggage. And so we're putting it together. And what we've done is we've used the Gorilla Glue on the joints. And then now we're putting nails in it, and then I'll come back and paint it. Todo. We're just using the Ziploc to try not to scar the wood so much. Aquí es la jefa. Introducción. ¿Cómo se llama? What is your name?
Fabiola.
¿Cuántos años la jefa? ¿Cuántos años en este trabajo? I asked her how long she has been the boss. So, okay. ¿Su nombre es?
Bismarck. Nombre. My name is Elvis.
No recuerde?
Elvis.
See? Elvis is in the house. He is in the building. So, we got this put together, so what we'll do now is we're going to paint it. And then hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to put some bees in it. But we have glued it and nailed it from both directions all the way around. It is flat, and I'm grateful to Albert for building it or cutting out the wood so that it would go together nicely. And so we're ready to have some bees. The students finished painting the boxes. So you've got the inner lid over there, and then here we've got the base, a deep box, and a medium box. The students are painting today, getting ready for their graduation, which will take place here at the school on Saturday. This is a Bible school that trains preachers from all across Latin America. Any given year, we have 5 to 8 countries in Latin America represented. Well, here's what, this is a little bit different type than I normally use. So normally you just have one bar at the bottom, and it has a little slit in it that the wax comb sits in. But this one is made differently. So it means that I'm going to need 20 of these. So 17. 18 okay. Perfecto. So we have 2 more here.
Sí, la conozco.
Sí,
En Perú estamos en la campaña de Chimbote.
sí. Ya regresamos.
Ok, mirar este. Próximo es suyo. Continuar con otro. Aquí es arriba, parte, tope. Dos para aquí. Poner. So we glue it with wood glue, and then we nail it together. The wood will hold it, the glue will hold it, but once this gets a lot of honey on it, it is very, very heavy. So that's why we glue it and nail it. Plus we have the humidity to deal with here in Panama, so I just feel better for it. So that one's together. Now what we've got to do is put the frame in it. So these wax foundations, I'm going to leave a few of those empty because I don't know if I'm going to use this size frame. Like I may, see how that was broken? I think I may take that out so that I have an empty frame. Because when we pull out the wax honeycomb from that colony, I want to be able to put it in here and then use rubber bands to hold it together. So I think I got something in my pocket. So we'll just use rubber bands. I like those big thick ones. All we need is to hold it in place, and then we'll slide it down in there and they'll connect all the pieces together. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show how you put a wax foundation inside one of those frames. So you can buy your frames already put together, or you can buy them and put them together yourself. What's ironic is there's not a massive price difference. So like, if we're close, I'm going to ask you to put it together. But I buy most of mine from Albert Zook, and they're usually always put together because I just drive there from my house. So this is a wax foundation. I don't know if you can see it. It's wax just like the bees use, but it's got wire that holds it in place. It's already got the hexagonal shapes, which is how they shape their cells, so they'll just build right off. It's like giving them a foundation model to go by. But also you've got these little wires up here. That is what we use to hold it in the frame. So here's what I'll, so I don't know if you can see how that is scored. They sawed it, but they didn't saw it all the way through. You pop that out. So that just pops out, and I usually just try to trim a little of that excess. So this thing really doesn't cut much. I'll do a little. I'd much prefer to have my Swiss Army knife, but it didn't make the trip. So if anybody's watched any of my videos before, you know my favorite hive tool is a Swiss Army knife. You could do all of beekeeping with a Swiss Army knife. So what we do is, okay, see how it's created a little indentation there? And then in the bottom you see how you now have a slit. So what I'm going to do is the bottom of that frame I want to fit in the slit. I actually find this is the hardest part of the whole process, trying to get it to fit in that slit. You can get it started on one end, it'll go in, but it's always fun. So it just sits down in there, and then you pull it up where it sits on this little ledge. And can you see the wires right there? I don't know if you can see the wires that stick out. So what we do, I'm going to turn it around, and I want to make sure the wires are sticking out. And then I lay this piece of wood I cut. Remember that I popped that little piece of wood out? When I put it back, it lays on top of those wires, and it presses this wax up against the other side. So it locks the top part of that frame in place. And then what I'll do is I'll staple that piece of wood down, and then you'll have a frame. I actually don't know if this has got staples or not. We'll see. Yes. Quiere poner cebas en aquí. Primera parte es separate aquí. Necesite usar una más. A veces necesito esta parte. Ujú. Ok. Cero.
Lámina.
Lámina de cera. Wax is cera.
Yeah.
Lámina de cera. Wax sheet. Este lámina tiene metal. You know, ¿sí? El plan es poner esta parte.
Al bajo.
Ok. Entonces, quiero queremos este camino con esta parte en abajo. Ok, perfecto. Ok, necesitamos poner esta parte en aquí. Aquí. Sí. Ok. Listo para este. Listo.
Really?
Yeah.
Bueno. Ok, yo necesito un foto con su primera. Okay. Gary. Listo. The students are putting frames together. They're actually much faster than I am. Más rápido de mí. Estoy despacio. Estudiantes están rápido. Well, we've been working on naming things. ¿Cuál es el nombre?
Apicultor.
Apicultor. Apicultor.
Ajá.
Apicultor is beekeeper. Apicultor.
Yeah, api en inglés.
Ropas para
is-
apicultor.
Api is
Jaqueta.
api en inglés is bee.
Sí, sí. Okay, so apicultor.
Is the office.
The office.
Working man.
Okay, so I got you. So it's a word for an office for one who works.
Yes.
Okay. So apicultor is the word for beekeeper. And so you've got jaqueta para
Capote.
apicultor.
And then we
And-
also have a
The flower.
ahumador.
Ahumador.
Okay, the smoker is amador. First we were looking at the word fragua, which is forge. So this is like a small forge, but
Ahumador.
ahumador, smoker. And then
To smoke
ahumar is to smoke. So if you hear us say that, the frames are called
Okay.
marcos or marco de miel.
My family say is ahumador.
Ahumador, okay.
Ahumador is called.
Okay, so he's got some family members who work in bees, and so they confirmed our translation. So, cera is the word for wax. Lamina de cera is a sheet of wax. So like you got wax foundation here that is used for eggs and honey. You can see at the bottom I wrote para huevos y miel. The box, La Casa de Abejas, or the house of the bees, is called Colmena. But the individual boxes are called celdas. So es celdas pequeño, otro es celdas largos. So we will, as we learn new terms, we will try to share them. Levanta cuadros.
Levanta is to lift.
Uh-huh.
And estos son cuadros, ¿verdad?
Sí, sí.
So to lift.
Okay, so they call this cuadros instead of marcos.
Cuadros o marcos.
Cuadros
So
or
they
marcos.
could, you could use either
Yeah.
one. So
So-
levanta cuadros.
Cuadros.
Have tool right here. Levanta cuadros.
Okay, levanta cuadros. Okay, that's very good. That's very helpful. As we complete this stage of our journey, we have prepared all the things that we need to be able to move the bees into a high box, and we've been able to train some of the students along the way, as they've been a tremendous help in preparing the high boxes for inhabitation. Hope you've enjoyed another episode of Brother Bees Bees. Esta parte de mi viaje es completo. La colmena es preparé para abejas. Muchos estudiantes trabajaron juntos sobre esta colmena. Está listo para abejas.